Hello guys, and welcome back to another Remembering Forgotten Memories video. So this one, I can't believe I haven't done already. I went back through the videos, I could have sworn I had. Maybe I spoke a bit elsewhere on the channel, I probably did, but as one of these in this series, apparently I haven't, so I'm gonna do it today. So, the tea parties that I used to have with my Nana, aka the whole reason why I still religiously drink tea to this day. So you know how little kids, like, they see the grown-ups doing a thing, therefore it makes it so much more alluring and makes them want to at least try it, if not full-on, like, be involved doing it. This was one of those things. Since between both sets of my grandparents, pretty much most of the time I was at one of their houses in my childhood. So, I was at my Nana's house a lot. My other grandma's house even more, but at my Nana's house, she always had this one teapot, or not a teapot even, it was one coffee maker that was for coffee and one coffee maker that was specifically for her tea that she would brew in it. Like a little miniature one, not quite single serving, but like maybe like half the size of a normal traditional coffee maker. So, anyway, she had that on one side of the counter, and then this direction, like kitty corner to it, she had what I think was originally a cookie jar. But what she used it for was she would buy, like, boxes of tea in all different flavors, be it all one flavor from one box, get a multi-sampler from another, and she would just dump all the tea bags, obviously, like, individually wrapped, into this cookie jar, and you could either just reach in, like, grab a random flavor that way, keep it interesting, or you could dig through and find what you wanted. Now, being as it was living in a cookie jar that you could see through, I saw bright colors in there, in a cookie jar, and as a little kid, at a small, impressionable age, this looked exciting to me. So eventually one day I asked, or actually evening, I asked her, "What's that?" And she said, "Those are bags of tea." And I said, "What's that?" And she explained what tea is, and how she drinks it, and showed how it's made with whatever one she was making. So, of course, I was like, "Can I have some?" She's like, I guess. I don't think you'll like it very much. Most little kids don't like it very much. I was like, "But can I try it?" "Okay." So she picks me up, because I was all of like 3 or 4 years old at this point, right? So she lifts me up, sets me on the edge of the counter so I can see in there more clearly, and tells me to pick one out that I liked. Now, I was a very early reader. I was reading letters by like 6 months old, was reading words by like a year, could read anything you put in front of me by 2 years. So, sifting through here and finding something that sounded good, I needed no adult assistance for that. I could read what they said. So I found one that was like Bigelow Apple Spice, I think it was. It was either that one or Orange Spice, because I know these were the two that I ended up defaulting between pretty exclusively as a little kid. I want to say it was the apple one first, because apple was my absolute favorite of all of the fruits, so it would make sense that that would be the one. Be like, "There's an apple one? Can I have this one?" She's like, "Of course!" So she brews it up and she shows me how it's made in the pot and everything. And I'm just sitting there like, "Can I watch it make it?" She's like, "Yes." And I'm sitting there like watching it brew the water through, which I mean, just seeing moving parts was interesting enough for me. But then seeing her put the tea bag in there too and watching it change colors and, whoa, that's so cool. And then she's like, "Do you want to smell it?" I was like, "Yeah." So she like lifts a little bit, lets me sniff in there, and "Oh, that smells so good." And she's like, "It is so good." So she finds like the smallest little cup she can for me, because again, little kid. And she pours it, she tells me, "Be careful, it's hot." So I blow on it a little bit, and I sip it, I'm like, "That's pretty good." She's like, "You know how'd be even better? If we put a little sugar in it." I was like, "Okay," because my mom was still at the phase where she was like, "No, do not give her sugar," because she apparently thought she was going to be like a crunchy granola mom. How quickly that changed. Yeah, she did not allow me to have sugar for like at least the first couple of years of my life. And it was that set of grandparents that broke that rule. Eventually she gave up on her efforts, but at this point I think I was still being snuck it on the sly. So I was just like, okay. So she puts it in, and then, ooh, this is so good. And so this became a thing after that. Of every time I went over there, can I have tea again? Okay. So this became tradition, and she started bringing down, like, the fancier cups for me, because even as a little kid, I was really, like, immaculately careful with stuff, like, more so than a typical little kid. It's almost weird how careful I was with stuff. But one week, she surprised me. And although it's technically not a teacup, it was a little cup that was just my size. And she surprised me with it, and I still have it. Had my name on it and everything, and these cute little bears wearing blue and everything, and I still have it. It lives on my windowsill now. I don't actively drink out of it now that I'm a grown-ass adult, but as a little teeny tiny kid, this was the perfect size for me, and I would have her, like, refill it a couple times at least. So probably till about, like, 6 or 7 I used this thing, and then it kind of just, like, hung out in her house till eventually years later she passed away, and I got it, because, you know, it's literally got my name on it. It's mine, so I finally took it home. But it became a tradition every week when I'd go over there. Can we make tea? Can we make tea? Can we make tea? And it was like, for years, I stuck to just the orange one and the apple one. Until I was probably in my teens. I want to say 15 or 16, maybe. And I got really curious about the Earl Grey in there, because that was what my grandpa drank every day. And I knew it sounded British, so I was like, I'm gonna try a different one. Can I try the Earl Grey? Would I be allowed to do that, or is that just for him? And, no, you can have some. Okay, we brew that up, and I'm like, one little sip, I'm like, let me add just a little bit of sugar to that, because I'd gotten to where I didn't need to drink it with sugar by that age. But I was just like, oh my gosh. Another experiment, put an ice cube in it. Like, I need to see a thing. She already knew where this was going, but she's, like, watching the wheels in my head going around, as all of a sudden, it all clicked up. This is the kind of tea that iced tea is made from, isn't it? Yes, it is. Oh my gosh, it's so yummy. I just made my own iced tea. She's like, yeah, you can make iced tea out of any tea, but yeah, that's typically the go-to one. It's just Earl Grey or black tea. Those are typically the ones they use for that. Yeah, mind-blown moment. Let me check this message real quick. I'll continue my story. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, so this started off being more curious about what else is in here, so I started digging through it. Ooh, mint. That sounds good. I'll try that. Ooh, mint is really good. And what's the sleepy time one? Does the sleepy time really make you sleepy? I know. It might. Maybe. Maybe not. Depends. Yeah, it never made me sleepy. But it was an interesting flavor. And I just, like, kind of go through. I just wanted to try all the things. I remember asking my mom, like, as a little kid at some point, if she would have a tea party with me. And she's like, oh, I'm not really a tea person, I'm a coffee person. I mean, I like mint. I guess mint's okay. So I think I had tried the mint with her before, but it wasn't the same because she wasn't all enthusiastic about it like my Nana was. Whereas, like, my Nana would, like, do the whole thing with the fancy teacups and the saucers that they go on and the tea kettle and everything, like, felt all fancy. Sometimes she'd even bring out little sandwiches or little cookies to go with them, like a full-on tea party. I felt so fancy and so grown up doing this as a little kid. And just grew up doing this with her each week and felt so special and so important for getting to be part of this. So, go a little further down the line. My grandpa gets cancer, and he's put on this super uber strict diet with, like, no carbs, no sugar, no meat, no this, no that, like, super crazy health kick, because he was also being treated by, like, a naturopath specialist, because he'd been told he's stage 4 inoperable, pretty hopeless, so he was desperate. He was willing to try anything, so he was trying the natural homeopathy, whatever it is, at that point. They put him on this strict-ass diet, and basically the only thing they allowed him to drink, aside from water, was green tea. So suddenly there was boxes upon boxes upon boxes of green tea all over their kitchen. I was like, green tea? I think that's what George Harrison drank. Can I try some green tea? Sure. We had plenty of it. So I tried it. Oh, green tea is actually the shit. Oh, I like that. So then I went on a kick of sticking with the green tea for a while. Unfortunately, my grandpa passed away, like, in under a year. It was, like, no time at all. So my Nana was stuck with all this fucking green tea that she didn't want. So it got bequeathed to me. And then my dad's like, yeah, I'm not buying you any more tea. You don't need any more. You have plenty right there. Work through that, then we'll talk. So, yeah, there was several years worth of green tea every day trying to work through this stash. So many boxes of green tea to where I burnt the fuck out on that shit for a lot of years. I finally come back around to it. I like it again now, but there was a long time where I was like, I don't want to hear the words green tea again. I was so sick of it. But I had enjoyed it for like a nice long run in there before that. And I do again now, but I pretty much just drink all of the teas now. It doesn't matter what kind it is. I drink them all now. But, anyway. But yeah, so, unfortunately, a year later, my Nana finds out she's sick with the same thing. And also went down just as fast. And then there were none. So then it was just me, holding this torch, in a house full of non-tea drinkers, feeling like the odd one out, because they all drink coffee, and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't drink coffee yet at that age. Now I drink both things. Hold on, mail just got here. Okay, hopefully that's the end of the interruptions. Anyway, so yeah. Then there was none. It was just me, in a house of coffee drinkers, when I, at that point, did not drink coffee. I now drink both. Love both, but my heart will always be more so with tea than with coffee. Just saying. The caffeine addiction will tell you otherwise, but in terms of just the whole experience, oh yeah, tea all the way, as I'm sure you guys know from my literal series focused on reviewing different teas, and you've seen my tea hauls of how much I buy at a time. You've seen in my empties videos how many boxes I whip through like it's nothing. So, clearly, it made a lasting impact, something so simple, so small as a tiny little child that she probably thought I was gonna, like, try it once and want to spit it out or something. Little did she know I'd fall in love with it and it be a lifelong love affair. But I'm so glad that it was. It's a little different now, not having the whole tea party experience. I didn't inherit the nice, fine china teacups or anything, wish I had. Maybe one day I'll own some of my own, but currently I do not. Currently, you guys have seen I just drink it out of tea mugs, because it's, or not a tea mugs, coffee mugs, because it's what I got on hand. But maybe one day I'll have the proper accoutrements. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. Every so often, I get really nostalgic for that, and find myself thinking about it, especially with certain flavors that'll remind me of it, or certain things that I think smell like those teas. It just brings me right back to that first night that I tried it the very first time. Like I said, young as I was, I still remember it like it was yesterday. So, left a very lasting impression. It's a very, very dear memory to me. So, sharing it with you guys. So, anyways, that is it for this one, guys. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.